Steve LORECK. I'm the frontman of a band called Late 90'S from Perth, like a alt rock um, band. Yeah, and very happy to be doing this Heavy Mag interview.
Fantastic, mate. Thanks for joining us today, brother.
Cheers. Just for having
No,
me.
no worries. So late 90s are making the trek over from Perth to be part of Big Sound 2025, which is going to be held in Brisbane's Fortitude Valley from September 2nd to the 5th. So that's not far away, brother. You're starting to tingle a bit?
Yeah, I mean, like I was just telling you before we started, I've been away the last couple of weeks, so we've got a couple of weeks to knuckle down and get the set all ready to go. The boys have been practicing without me because they haven't been away. I've been taking some time off. But yeah, I'm super keen. I'm really keen to just hang with like a lot of the other bands there, like Bad Juju and Eliza and the Delusionals, and yeah, just keen to just chat with everyone and play some fun shows. Yeah.
Nice. Now, Big Sound features over 120 bands playing across 18 stages, so there's a lot to choose from. So straight off the bat, mate, tell us why should punters come and see late 90s and mark you down on their to-do list?
I think we're like the only like heavy band playing out of Perth, so um that's a definite reason. Like there isn't that many bands that have got that those heavier sort of influences. So I think it's we do a good job of representing that kind of more alternative scene. I think our music is not too heavy where people might be off put by it, but they might still enjoy it if they're not necessarily into the heavier stuff. So yeah, so we're kind of the middle ground, I guess, for the punter. Um, and yeah, I think we do the music we make is a little different, so I think people will like it.
Well, sorry to put you on the spot like that too, bro. I know it's not easy to toot your own horn, especially when you're not ready for it, but you did a good job.
That's right.
No worries. So, what does Big Sound mean to emerging Australian bands like yourselves?
A lot. That was one of our first goals when we first started our band like 5 years ago. Every year we've applied, never gotten the call up. And finally to have the call up is really, really huge to be on the same industry festival as like a lot of our favorite bands and like the repertoire of bands that have really like come before and done big sound and gone on to do massive things is really cool. And just to have our name in that have our hat in the ring, is quite important to us and special for us. So yeah, we're very grateful to have the opportunity.
Nice. Now, you mentioned you've tried a few times before and haven't got through, but you did this year. Like, what'd you do different? Did you chuck $100 note in there or something? Or
No, I don't know. I don't know. I think maybe something to do with the Neck Deep tour we did. Maybe that got some people. Some people may have heard of us that had something to do with how we got in. I'm not too sure. I don't really know how it works.
it just happened.
Yeah, it just happened. Yeah.
Now, there's plenty of going on at Big Sound. You've got your showcase gigs, there's workshops, there's networking to be done. So, are you going to strategically plan out your time there, I guess, to make sure you make the most of it, or are you just going to have a general idea and roll with the punches?
There's definitely like some bands I want to be able to catch. Like I said before, Eliza and the Delusionals, big fan of them. And Bad Juju and Closure from Sydney. So yeah, I'm definitely going to be having a look at the itinerary. I'm going to be running around the valley trying to get into as many shows, see as many bands as I can, and yeah, just really make the most of it.
It's a pretty big place, the Valley too, bro. So make sure you take breadcrumbs or something to drop while you're running, otherwise you might get lost.
Yeah, that's gonna be a good idea. Definitely gonna. I think we're definitely gonna have to have between the four of us, gonna have to have our locations shared because there probably won't be too much reception, and no one's gonna be checking their phones in the middle of a gig either. So
You're probably better off making a meeting point at one stage and just going there because
that's
you're
a
right
good
in front of
idea.
everyone.
That's
So
a good
yeah,
idea.
and
Yeah,
make it a pub too, so you got somewhere cool to meet.
yeah, exactly. At this time every night we're gonna meet for a pint of Guinness.
Nice work. Love your work. So when and where are late 90s playing?
So we're playing the Bright Side on the Thursday night, I believe, the Bright Side Outdoors, and the other show I have completely forgotten.
But
I'll be
it's on the
on Monday
schedule.
on the schedule, but the Monday night we are doing an extra show, which is a Destroyer Lines showcase. So, and we are playing on Wednesday, but I've completely forgotten where that is.
That's all right. But you got a lot going on, brother. You just come back from holidays. You can't be expected to do everything.
That's it. Yeah.
Also, one thing about Big Sound is, like we said, there's over 120 bands there, so people can't be expected to know every band. So if someone's not familiar with late 90s, mate, give us a bit of a history on the band.
Yep. So we started about 5 years ago. The other three boys, two of them are twins. And the drummer Elliot, Elliot, Brody, and Zach have always been best mates ever since they were kids. And then they played in bands in high school and primary school together. And then I kind of came into the picture after high school. I'm a little bit younger than the other boys. Yep. And so we started jamming, started playing some shows, pretty much like during COVID. I think we were about to play our first show, and then COVID happened, so that kind of pushed things back a bit. So yeah, we started put our first song in 2021, and yeah, just been on the grind since. Been kind of changed our sound a bit over the last few years. We kind of started a bit more soft. Still had those like emo kind of influences, but did enjoy like a bit of more like surf punk sort of stuff. And now we're more alternative rock, post-hardcore with bits of metal in there, new metal sort of stuff now. So we've kind of gone a bit heavier as we've made our way through and kind of figured out our sound a bit more. Yeah, we've put out a couple EPs, got a new song coming out in 2 weeks, just before Big Sound. And yeah,
Cool. And you mentioned you played with Neck Deep. Was that the national tour or just Perth
yeah,
one?
national tour. We did 5
That would have been fucking insane, bro.
Oh, dude, it was the best week of all of our lives. Yeah, it was neck deep in state champs. And yeah, it was unreal. Some of the
Nice
venues,
guys too, aren't they? I did the interview with both of them, and they're just true
lovely,
gentlemen.
so lovely. Yeah, and both bands went out of their way to be nice to us and chat to us and give us a hand and give us good advice and things like that, which was really, really sweet.
Yeah, nice. As a young emerging band, what sort of like you go on a tour like that? Like you've got to have fun, of course, but do you treat it like a life lesson as well? Or do you try and learn shit and watch them and see how things are done, or do you just
Yeah,
concentrate on what you're
we,
doing?
we were definitely just like there wasn't a single night that any one of us didn't watch the full set of either band.
Mm.
Unless we're at merch and it was a venue where we couldn't see properly. But yeah, like it was like those two bands are the top of the game of the genre, like really the best bands in the world to do pop punk music, to do like rock music in general, like it's crazy to watch bands of that caliber just put on an epic show like and do we did 5 shows in a week and it was like every single night the energy was insane and just remarkable and like their abilities to work the crowd, to play their instruments, to just dial everything in from the musicians to everyone in their teams, their guitar techs, front of house guys, etc. Like it's really just a insanely well-oiled machine, and it was really inspirational and really cool to see how people do it at that level.
So you're releasing your new single "Low" on August the 29th, mate. So what can you tell us about that song?
Yep, so it's a kind of grungy it's basically a grunge song with like a heavy breakdown and kind of like pop punk sort of melodies. It's kind
Yeah.
a kind of a bit of a blend, and that's kind of like I guess kind of sums up the kind of music we make. Like we do take from a lot of different genres, and I guess that's kind of what makes us sound like us. Um, but yeah, it's a song about going through tough shit and not knowing, being unsure how you're going to come out of it, and wanting the best for yourself, but then beating yourself up about being bad and not being where you want to be and that sort of thing. So yeah, it comes out in a couple weeks, and yeah, it's our first song since our second EP, which came out like 3 or 4 months ago now. So yeah, super excited.
Nice. And is it a standalone song or part of a bigger EP or album picture?
Think this one's just going to be a standalone single. I produced this one, which is the first time I've done it for our band, so we were kind of just seeing how it would go. And thankfully, I've managed to win the boys' trust, and they're keen for me to keep doing the recording going forward. But yeah, at this stage, I think it's just going to be a standalone single, but we are getting back in the studio very soon to work on something bigger.
On that note, mate, like, how did you go producing your own stuff? Like, is it hard to sort of step back and be objective when you're so close to the material?
Yeah, I think it was really hard to be like, okay, it's done. I I was umming and ahhing whether I should mix it or we should get someone else, and we ended up getting someone else to mix it. We got Emmett, who does live sound for us and owns a studio that we recorded it at to mix it. So it was cool because it was still like part of our. He's obviously part of our team, so it was really cool to have him do that. But yeah, I think if I was to mix it, I would have literally. I would have never been able to be like, oh, it's done. But I guess
Yeah,
when you're recording it, it's like it was still hard. Like we spent a lot of time just working on things and really like adding extra guitar parts. I think we tracked bass twice for some reason. Um,
just cause.
like I re-recorded vocals like 3 times because I just wasn't happy with it. Um, and you know that well, that's the benefit of doing it yourself. It also makes you can't also you're not just in the studio for a day smashing
Yeah,
it, you know.
you haven't
Um,
got someone saying, "No, that's good enough, mate. Leave it."
yeah, exactly. Exactly.
And what else of late nineties got coming up, bro? Like big sound it for now, or you got some other plans?
Yeah, we're going to be doing another tour hopefully at the end of this year to promote this new single and the rest of the music we've got coming out. Um, and yeah,
Nice. Fantastic, bro. Well, thanks for your time, man. I'm glad you took time off surfing to chat with me, but I'll definitely mark you down on my calendar for our big sound anyway, bro. I'll come catch up and have a Guinness with you.
awesome. Can't wait. Thank you, man.